Hey guys, it's Justin. It's been a while since I've done a video, so I wanted to jump back into it. Today we're gonna do a bleach and tone video on Austin. He has lighter hair, so it's not super hard to get too light, but I wanted to show you guys how to get it to that really pure white. My favorite toner, things that you can use at home to keep it nice and bright, not turning brassy, or sometimes like the blonde will pick up like some residue. I think the thing with bleach and tones, it's like I always have clients who will complain about it being really white at the beginning, but then it starts to over time get a little bit dingy and lose that really bright white. So I want to show you guys little tips that you could use at home, different products to keep it that real white. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so for this first step, I'm just going through and lightening his ends with the bleach. I'm leaving the root out. The root just lifts really quick because of the warmth of the scalp. So knowing that, I want to get the product on the ends first to really start bleaching those out, because that's always where like the yellow ends up happening, is on that like virgin hair on the ends. I know that I can lift the roots really quick, so I just want to get this on through the ends, pop them under the dryer, and just get those ends to start lightening up. so he's out of the heat. We put him under the heater for like 5 to 7 minutes. So his ends, as you can see, have already started to lift up. So I'm just going back through and like hitting the root, and those will start to lift pretty quick. After the roots start to lift, I'm gonna go through and kind of recoat the ends and just let it process. Just remember, it's like, it looks a little bit lighter than it is because there's still like that white on it. So you wanna make sure to really get it to that nice kind of bright, like the inside of a banana, like a really light yellow, just so it's light enough to tone. The closer you can get to white, obviously without damaging the hair, the better. So just kind of go with your own eye and watch for it. Alright guys, so we have Austin at the bowl now. He's pretty much there. It's evenly light throughout. I'm gonna go back through and tone it, so I want to keep a tiny bit of that like yellow color in there. Don't want it to get too white, because you know the whiter it gets, the more damage it is, because we're just stripping the pigment out. So we're kind of there. We're gonna go through and wash with Michaela.
Oh, it feels so good, rinsing it off.
Why, was it burning?
It burned a little bit, just a little bit though.
What did it feel like?
I just felt like a bunch of little people all over my head just pinching me with their little fingers.
And little crabs?
Yeah, little crabs all over my head.
Well, keep your head back.
Okay.
Alright guys, so we rinsed them off. I think I said shampoo earlier, and you definitely don't want to shampoo before a toner. So here we go, rinse them all off. See, there's a tiny bit of kind of like a little bit of that yellow throughout the end, so that's what we're gonna go through and just kind of tone with. My personal favorite toner is the T18 by Wella Color Charm. It just really goes through. I mean, for the longest time I was searching for like the best toner, and it's kind of old school. It's funny, people in the salon will kind of laugh at the packaging of the box because it's just an old kind of toner, but it really goes through and just cuts that yellow out. It has a really deep kind of purple pigment that just kind of like neutralizes all of that yellow. It will definitely, if you leave it on too long, pick up some ashy silvery tones. So just remember, you want to just tell your clients, you know, if they want to be that white, just let them know that until after, a couple days after the initial whitening, there might be a little bit of a silver tone in there, but that's better than having the yellow. But that silver does kind of rinse out after a couple washes. So here we go with the toner. All right guys, so with the toner, we just want to quickly whip it on. Just on short hair like this that we want the whole thing to be platinum, we want to just get it all over the hair and just kind of get an even tone. Remember that this is pretty much the part that burns, so just let your clients know that it's just gonna sting a bit. And that's why we don't shampoo before this process. You don't wanna rough up the scalp and kind of open it up to make it sting some more. How's that feeling, Austin?
It's not too bad, yeah.
He's kind of been a pro. He's been a pro through this whole situation. He hasn't complained once, actually. We have some clients who just think it's so painful, but
it's not too bad.
She's a tough cookie.
She's a tough girl. She just wants my hair.
All right guys, so the toner is on, it's sitting on. It doesn't look like he's gonna need it on for that long. You can kind of go through like Michaela is and just kind of strip it away. Show me one of those, Michaela. Yeah, and see it's kind of an even, nice platinum color. In this case, I'm not too worried about there being a little bit of a silvery tone in Austin's hair. I just want to make sure to cut all of that yellow out. We know that everything kind of fades a bit, so I want to make sure that it fades to completely white. So we'll maybe just leave that purple on a little bit longer. I'd say about 3 to 4 minutes on Austin is like the most that we're gonna do today. But like with some clients who have a lot of that yellow, sometimes we'll leave it on for like up to 10 minutes just to really cut it all out. Another little trick to think of when you wash it off, if you realize that you've left the toner on a little bit too long and those ends are really picking up too much of a silver tone, like a gray tone, you can always go back through with a really great product called Malibu. If you haven't used it, Malibu are just these crystals that you can buy at the beauty supply store, and it just kind of pulls pulls toner out of the hair, right, Michaela?
Yeah.
And that'll just kind of, you can scrub that on the very ends of the hair to kind of pull out the toner if it's toned too much. So I think we're about there. Like I said, it's been on him now for probably about 2 minutes. Let's see, let it focus. Yeah, we're about there. All right, we're gonna wash it. Alright guys, so he's all rinsed off and we've pretty much got it to the perfect tone. He's nice and bright. Initially at the beginning of the consultation, we had talked about kind of creating a little bit of a root on it. Sometimes I like to kind of shadow out the very root so people kind of get that depth. But after talking to Austin, he wants to keep it super white and let it grow out on its own. A nice little root like shadow that you can put on there. A lot of times I'll do like half 8N, half 9N with Richesse with 6 volume and just tap it very slightly on the very root at the bowl. Leave it on for like 5 to 10 minutes just to kind of create like a nice little shadow there. It makes the ends look even whiter, but it just kind of looks like that grown out, bleached out, kind of like when Justin Bieber's bleach and tone is grown out a bit and he has like that depth at the root. But in Austin's case, we're gonna keep him nice and white and bright. So let's go over and dry him up a bit.